So sweet. I love you. Just the fact that I'm literally sitting down and making this video and I have what I have to share, it blows my mind. I am just completely blown away. So grateful. Still cannot believe what just happened last week. So if you're not aware, if you don't follow me on Instagram, I launched my new course, The Business Confident Photographer. So this is really my flagship signature course on how to grow a photography business from start to finish, everything that I wish that I knew when I started. And I know this channel at this point has shifted a lot from photography, and I focus a lot more on just like Instagram, marketing, all of that fun stuff. But I know a lot of you are still photographers and a lot of you do follow me on Instagram. I am just like shocked, like completely shocked, and shocked that I was able to grow this, and like even in the midst of a pandemic, even in the midst of everything happening this year that's been crazy, like I am so stinking grateful. And so I really wanted this video to really break down like more of my analytics, break down how the launch went, break down my strategy going into it, and break down exactly how many hours I had to pour into creating this online and what a lot of people would say passive income course really was, because it's a lot more than you might think. And I really just want to share with you too how, you know, it might sound like a lot to make in 10 days, but really the reality of launching stuff like this is your sales go down to almost nothing, and then you go way up, and then you go back down. And I am still building out evergreen income and how to make passive income from different things like my course, so that it's not as much of a flat line. But I am just, I mean, still just, it's crazy that the course is out there, and I'm really able to do that with the course now. And to even have I had a couple more students enroll this week after the launch sale end. And so it's just been super exciting, and I truly am so stinking grateful. And so I really just wanted to share with you a big recap, really like a launch week report of how the entire launch went, because I know you guys enjoy these videos. You've enjoyed some of my past ones that I've done, and so I just really wanted to break it down for you and how the launch week went for the Business Confident Photographer and leading up to it and all of that fun stuff. So first, and this is kind of what I've already mentioned, but to clarify, I do want to make sure that you guys understand, like when we say passive income, even in this video or even in any of my other videos, to me, passive income is really just scalable income. So, you know, for example, with photography, it's hard to really scale that unless you have associates or something like that, because there's only one of you. And it's not bad at all. I still think being a photographer is awesome. And I know a lot of people enjoy that so much. But I know something for me in my business that I've always had the vision to do is to grow it into something scalable, something that, you know, I don't have to work a certain number of hours in order to make a certain amount of money every year. And so with photography, it's really hard to do that and to have that in place. But when it's something like a course, I wouldn't say it's necessarily less work, but you can put in the same amount of work and start making more and more money as the time goes on. And so I just really wanted to clarify that first. When I say passive income, when we talk about passive income with courses or anything like that, I really think something we need to make sure that we're distinguishing is that it's really just scalable income, and it's not necessarily always going to be passive, because even after launching the course, I still want to pour so much into the students in making course updates, being active in the Facebook group, doing some live interviews with guest experts in the Facebook group. So it's not like, you know, I create this course and it's one and done, which you could do, but you're not going to be a successful course creator if you do that, because your students are going to realize you're just creating these courses and then ditching them. So let's talk a little bit about my strategy. What was my strategy going into the launch? What do I think made it successful leading up, what I did leading up to it? Because if you know anything about launching courses, online products, launching anything basically, one of the biggest things is creating almost hype and it's really just priming your audience. So what are you doing in the weeks, really the month leading up to the course launch, but even in the months leading up to the launch? Like, what are you doing to get people excited about the course, to get them to want to buy as soon as the course releases? And so the first thing that I was doing is I shared a lot of behind the scenes of myself creating the course. And I think that was just really easy content because I was already doing it. I just had to take some behind the scenes like videos and boomerangs and stuff like that to post on Instagram. And so I would take some behind the scenes of myself, like outlining the course, creating the slides for the course, filming the course, uploading course videos, uploading bonus lessons, like all of that fun stuff. I was able to create behind the scenes and share about it that way on my Instagram. Another thing that I think was super strategic going into the course and even going into creating the course is making sure that I was polling my audience. This is very, very important and something that I think if you want to create any sort of like online product, digital product, something that's very, very important, because there's so many digital products and courses nowadays, something that's very important is making sure that what you want to create is actually what people want to buy. And sometimes you also need to sell to what they want, not to what they need. And you sell them what they want, right? But then you also give them what they need inside the course on that particular topic. So, okay, let's start from the beginning. So when it comes to picking a topic, make sure that your audience actually wants it from you. Make sure it's something that they're actually interested in, because if you think it's a good idea, but no one that follows you thinks it's a good idea and wants to buy from it, it doesn't do you any good. And so a really easy way you can do this is to poll your audience, maybe on like 3 ideas that you have for things you want to offer. One of them being the thing you actually are thinking you want to launch, but then the other 2 are other ideas that you'd be potentially interested in, or leave it up for anyone to tell you what they want to learn from you. And I had so many people. So about a year ago, I actually put on my Instagram and said, hey, like I have this idea for a course or something along these lines, maybe a workshop, which with 2020, I was like, I kind of ditched the workshop idea because, but I literally polled my audience a year ago and I asked them, like, what do you guys want to learn from me? Like, I have this vision for this course that's more all-inclusive, like how to book more clients and maintain a healthy business, sustainable business. And the response was overwhelming. I had so many responses from you guys saying like, this is exactly what I want. This is what I need. And that was really reaffirming to me, like, okay, like I have this idea and other people think it's a good idea. On top of that, when it came to actually creating the course and marketing the course, I also sent out another feedback survey to my audience asking them what are the biggest things they're struggling with when it comes to running a photography business. And that was one of the main questions we asked. We also asked a lot of different questions. My copywriter was helping me with this, and it was really eye-opening to see like the way things people struggled with, like they're things that I wouldn't have thought of because maybe I never struggled with it, but there's a lot of people who do struggle with it. And I was able to use that in a lot of, not only the way I created the course, but also in the way that I crafted my marketing and my messaging around selling the course. Again, selling them what they want and then giving them what they need inside the course. Another thing that I did that was very strategic in the way that I launched the course is I had beta testers. And I actually had 11 beta testers, which might sound like a lot if you've done courses before, you know anything about them. But for me personally, the social proof, guys, like social proof is gold. Like it doesn't matter if I am telling people over and over again that my course is awesome and they should buy it, but if someone else, and let alone like several people, are saying how awesome the course is, the results they've seen from it, that is worth way more than any beautiful sales page you could put together. And so that's why I decided to have plenty of beta testers so I could pull different testimonials from, have people in different stages of their business. And that honestly helped so much in launching the course. And I'm so grateful for all those beta testers who gave me their time not only go through the course, but also give me the feedback, to help me improve the course, and also give me that social proof, those testimonials, those reviews that I could share on the sales page, share on my social media, literally anywhere. And I could use that in so many different ways. The last thing I want to mention here is that I chose for priming my audience, so getting them to think, for me, because it was such a big course and because I already had so many photographers following me and love my content, like I don't think I had to do very much like specific priming for the course, but I did strategically create some blog posts leading up to the course that were helping to prime them for my course and get them thinking of me as the photography business expert, right? So I'll put some examples here of some of the blog posts that I wrote, and it was just super helpful for me to be able to share those blog posts on, link it on my Instagram, and also, take snippets of those blog posts, share in Instagram captions. So leading up to the launch, for like 3 or 4 weeks before my launch date, I was sharing those kind of posts over and over again to get people thinking of me as someone who is the go-to person for being a photography business person that they should learn from. This is even more important if you're doing something very specific. Like when I launched a course on wedding details, I needed people to think of me as the go-to details expert. And so I was doing even more priming than I did with this course. Because this course is so inclusive, I didn't do as much, but with most courses, like, you definitely have to do so much priming to get people to think of you as the expert in that topic. All right, so now we're gonna shift gears a little bit into talking about launch week. And when I say launch week, I am talking about Thursday. Let me find the date real quick. I don't have the date pulled up. Okay, so when we talk about launch week, we're talking Thursday, November 12th through Friday, November 20th. And really, I'm going to also include Saturday, November 21st, because I didn't have a chance to take down the sale, and I had a few more sales that day. So those are the days that we're really talking about when we say launch week, because my webinar was hosted on Thursday, November 12th. I hosted 2 time slots for my webinar, and that was where people could watch the webinar and get a free class from me for about 30 minutes, and then they were pitched my course for about 20 minutes, and then they had 15 minutes of Q&A at the very end afterwards. So that's the first time like someone could join the course, and it was an early access sale, so they were able to get their hands on it before anyone else could, before anyone else publicly could, before it was even launched to my email list or anything like that. So that's how I chose to launch the course, and I had never done a webinar before. The last time I launched a course, I did a week-long challenge, so it was really cool to me to do that, and I actually really enjoyed it. I think even more than I expected to. I think I enjoyed it even more than the challenge, because one, it felt like less work for me. It felt like less work for me to have to show up every day. I only had to show up for one day and do a webinar, but it did feel like a lot more pressure because there's only one day and you have to get it right, or that's the end of it. At least that's how I think of it, and I probably shouldn't think of it that way, but I do a little bit. And all right, so how many people actually signed up for the webinar? So I ended up having 729 registrants, and that includes both times. I had more in the 12 p.m. slot and less in the 6 p.m. and more that showed up live, like this percentage that showed up live was to my 12 p.m. webinar time slot, which was interesting because when I polled my audience and asked what time would work best for them for this class, a lot of them said 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but then more showed up at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I thought that was interesting. I don't know if it's just because it was the first time or something like that. My show up rate for both webinars combined was 38.27%, which means that I had 279 people that ended up showing up live to either the 12 p.m. or 6 p.m. slot. And then out of the replay attendees, so people who didn't show up but watched the replay instead, there was a 26.75% show up rate, and that means 195 people watched the replay. And it was just super, it went super well. I was super happy with how the webinar went, how many people registered. So after they signed up for the webinar, they would also get a few emails leading up to when the early access sale ended on Saturday evening. And I think at that point I had about 20 to 22 people sign up from the time, either right away at the webinar or within the few days of the webinar. And then when I launched on Monday, I know I had a handful more sign up on Monday. I should have these exact stats. I don't have them on me. I'm sorry, but I had a few more people sign up Monday. And then I remember Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday was really slow. I had maybe 1, maybe 2 people sign up, and then a huge surge of people on Friday and then Saturday. So the sale officially ended Friday at midnight Eastern Standard Time, but I did leave it open because I had a wedding to shoot on Saturday, and I secretly, sneakily posted on my Instagram. And I wasn't planning on doing this, but I shared on my Instagram, I didn't have time to take it down before I left for my wedding this morning. So if you still want it, here's your sign to grab it. And I had 3 or 4 more people sign up. So the majority of people signed up either with the webinar, either live during the webinar or during the early access sale that ended on Saturday, or they signed up on the first day of the public sale on Monday or the last day of the public sale on Monday. And that's really interesting too, because that's what I've really seen statistically with my shop sales or my shop launch. I have the most sales on Monday, the first day when it opens, and then Friday, the last day that the sale closes. Okay, my bun came out and then I was trying to look up certain stats, but I couldn't find them on hand. So we're just gonna roll with the rest of this. Okay, so the last thing I want to mention here is that I did run Facebook ads. So I recently started working with a Facebook ads company to help me with Facebook ads for different parts of my business. And they did help me get some webinar registrations. That's what I was trying to look up the exact number, but for some reason the stats aren't pulling up and I don't have it on hand. So I wanna say it was around 100 to 150 we got from Facebook ads that were a cold audience that didn't really know me, and then the rest of them was for my organic audience via my email list, Instagram, my Facebook group, stuff like that. So yeah, so I would say the majority of this webinar and the majority of this launch was pretty organic in the sense that I don't know I don't have a lot of people who bought that were completely cold, but because we did do some ads to a cold audience, we also retargeted my audience because I found that to work really well for sales and launches in the past. So we were doing a combination of both. So it can't be hard to say what exactly was 100% from Facebook ads versus from my organic audience. But I did spend my ad spend for webinar registrations plus the week of the launch was about $1,500. But I know that I saw a good return on my investment for that. Okay, so first I want to dive into how much I made exactly that week, and this is just from either my course and order bumps. So that's a whole nother thing that I literally did not even mention, but I'll dive into a little bit in a second, and also how many hours I spent directly on the course, not even including just other ways of growing my audience, time spent doing that in order to have a successful launch. So the final number, how much I made from this launch, and on the numbers higher if you include shop sales from other products that maybe came from course members or whatever, but I made $24,895 generated. So when we say generated, that means that number, not that total number, actually hit my bank account. Because I offered a payment plan, about half of the students opted for the payment plan, so they only paid $97 to get in, and then they're gonna make payments for the next 5 months in order to keep access to the content. And so the amount that actually hit my bank account within the week of the launch is $14,225, and then the rest is coming in the next 5 months with that payment plan. So, and with that too, this is just one source of income, which is crazy to me. If you include other orders I had in my shop that week, just because of all the promotion, if you include affiliate income, it's even more, which is, it just kind of blows my mind. And then how many hours I spent directly on the Business Confident Photographer. So I use Toggle to track my hours, to track my work. If you don't do that, highly recommend. It is incredible. But I literally spent 164 hours directly on this course, literally things that are related to either the course, creating the course, the outline, the webinar, the launch week, etc. Anything that's I can directly pull it back to this course was 164 hours, which is equivalent to 21 8-hour work days if you were to do all at once. But this really was spread out over mainly 3, almost 4 months, because I wasn't working on these things all at once. Because I know for me, my brain power, I can't do 8 hours of this kind of work. It is deep work where I need to be focused and really honing in on what I'm doing. And I only have maybe 3 hours of that kind of work in a day. And so yeah, this is spread out over a few months. And this is not including any time that I was also spending answering emails, putting up content to be priming, and putting up creating content on Instagram to be growing my audience, things like that. There's still more work that went into this than just these hours, but these are the ones I could directly relate back to my launch and the course and all of that stuff. Now I want to chat with you guys about my plans to really create this into passive, aka scalable income, going back to what we talked about in the beginning. And so I really just want to share with you how I'm planning to do that in the upcoming months, how I'm planning to make this more passive income for my business. And so yeah, I'm gonna be honest and say, I don't have all the answers. I don't know everything yet. I don't know exactly how this is going to play out, but it does make me very excited because this course is not only something that just teaches people something, but it's a whole transformation that changes their entire life and the way they look at their business, which is so exciting for me. And it hits such a big pain point that I know a lot of photographers face. And so it really is just so exciting for me to think about that. So the first way that I'm planning to put this on passive, aka scalable, and start making money off of this, off of all of that work that I've already done, besides just the launch week, is one, I'm gonna re-release the webinar so people can watch it on replay whenever they want to. And so people are able to go back and watch this webinar and then be pitched the course after they watch this free class that converted so well for me. I know my conversion rate directly to the webinar, I think it was close to like 5-ish% for the people that signed up versus the people who bought. And so for me, especially for this course being at a higher price point, around $500, that is awesome. Like that is so, so awesome that I'm able to see that kind of return. And so I'm really interested to see that with doing that, what my conversion rate is for the replay. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm planning to first start with it organically, so put it out there. I have a wait list going for this free webinar. And so I have people already signed up and wanting to watch the replay once it comes out, and then continuing to share about it, to add people to that, get the reviews that are already coming to my website, and turning them into people who sign up for the class and potentially want to join the course. So with that said, that means that they're going to get that launch sale again if they watch the webinar through. So that's the only way they're going to be able to get it, and then potentially be put into a sales funnel so that they can be pitched to it again via email and have a couple of days to think about it and also jump in on the sale then. If all of that goes well and it's working well organically, I then want to flip that and then turn it into running Facebook ads to my free webinar for people to sign up and then potentially become buyers of my course. Another way that I want to start making passive income where it truly will feel more passive and more scalable than all the hours of work that I put into this course is to run sales on it 2 to 3 times a year. So going back to that sale price and really pushing that course when I do shop sales. So I'm still figuring out like how I want to do this. I really want to have like a set yearly sale so people can know what to expect. So I'm still trying to figure out what that looks like for me. I know I want to do Black Friday next year. I'm not really doing a big Black Friday sale this year, but I know I want to do that. And then I want to do at least 2 other sales during the year. So I don't know if that means like maybe a beginning of the year sale and then maybe a birthday sale because my birthday is in May, or maybe a Christmas and July sale. Like I'm still not exactly sure how it's going to look, but I know at least 2 to 3 times per year I am going to be putting this course on sale so that we can continually be adding new members during that sale, especially people who have joined my audience since the last sale. Okay, so what exactly would I do differently? If I was going back and redoing this course, is there anything I would do differently? The answer is yes, definitely. The first thing is for my next course, I think this worked really well for this course, like filming and editing it all by myself, which I did a vlog on that. If you're interested, I'll put a link in the description and you go check it out here. But I did a vlog all about how I filmed my own course, and while I absolutely loved it for this course and it worked really well for me, I think in the future I would definitely want to either hire a videographer to do it or hire someone to at least go back and edit the videos for me so I'm actually filming them, because I am so used to filming videos by myself. Like I enjoy it, but I would want someone to help me with the editing aspect of it so I'm not having to do all of that stuff on my own. The next course that I create too, if I do create another like course like this, I think I'm going to create something that maybe is a little bit more scaled down and not as like all-inclusive. So I would probably pick more of a specific topic to cover instead of having this huge long course. What I probably would do next time, I would probably create something a little smaller, more concise. I think it worked really well for this course. And don't get me wrong, like I think it was so needed to have a course this big, but it's gonna be a while I think before I wanna create something this big again because it was a little crazy. The next thing that I think I'll do differently is I'll start handing more things and more tasks off to my virtual assistant to do like in the weeks leading up to the launch. So my thought was, I thought I would need her more like during the actual launch week, but then I realized once I got to the launch week that at that point everything had to be done. And so I think I would probably like ask for more help when it comes to things leading up to the launch. And I definitely could have, but for some reason I got in this mindset of just doing all these things myself. And so it's really just my mindset and I really need to break that. So for my next launch course, I know that I need to be handing certain things off leading up to the launch and not just waiting until launch week to be asking for help. All right, and then to wrap up this video, we're gonna talk about some of the things that I am super, super proud of with this launch. And the first one, obviously making almost $25,000 in 10 days. Like, that's crazy to me. And just completely blows my mind because it makes me so, so grateful. Like, because I know behind every single person that invested in this course is a truly like a human being whose life is gonna be completely transformed by what they learn. And that is what I'm excited about. So that just blows my mind. Something I'm definitely super, super proud of with my course. It's something that I'm also very proud of with this course is that it is so like start to finish for photographers and helping them grow like an actual sustainable business, because I think there needs to be more education out there like it, and that makes me really excited that it's out in the world and that people can start going through it and that students are already seeing results, which is super, super awesome. And another thing that I'm super excited about just for the future of the course and going forward is that I've got all of the heavy lifting done. I've got all of the work up front done, and I'm truly able to start making this course super passive and scalable. And it's something that I've truly poured so much time to making sure it's a great experience for students. It's something that it's gonna be helpful. It's to the point. Even though I keep saying like this course is super like all inclusive of what they need to know, the actual video time for this course I think is like 13.5 hours, which really when we're talking about a course that's this long, a lot of similar courses that I've seen are 30 to 35 plus hours long. And so that's something I'm super proud of. If they're able to get quick results, they're able to learn things quickly, that's a great experience learning things, and super excited that it's a course that I'm able to truly be so proud of and stand behind and put out into the world over and over again going forward, and truly start making it into more of a passive income stream. If you liked this kind of content, give this video a thumbs up and comment below and let me know. Do you want me to do more of these videos in the future? Was it interesting to see more of a behind the scenes look into how I created and launched my course and made it successful? I'd love to know your thoughts and if you would love to see more of these in the future, because I don't know, I personally just love listening to videos and podcasts like this, because so often like too, we can hear about, oh, like this person made this much in 1 week or this amount or they had this much success, but we also don't realize like there's so much more that goes to it than that. There's so much more behind it. Like I didn't even talk about in this video my expenses with this launch. Like I might have generated $25,000, but I paid a copywriter $3,000 to create copy for this course launch. I hired a Facebook team, which is $2,000 a month on top of my ad spend. Like there's just so many things that go into creating a course like this. And so my heart behind sharing these things is to show you like it's not all easy. It's a lot of work. There's so many hours that go into it. There's so much time that goes into it. There's so much of an investment that goes into launching something like this. And so I just really wanted to, just share about that with you guys, and also just share the wins. Like you guys are what made this possible. And so it's cool to almost like share that with you guys and for you guys to be excited with me for the results that are happening and for how my business is growing. So I personally enjoy it, and I appreciate people who are more transparent about their numbers and what's going on behind the scenes and how things are actually happening. So if you like this, let me know in the comments if you agree with that and if you enjoy them too, because I would love to keep doing them if you guys love them. And I cannot wait to see you guys in the next video. Bye guys. Oh, big yawn. Yeah. You got some stinky breath, girl. Oh, it's so stinky. You lay down? Down? Emmy, what are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? Huh? You just gonna stare at me? You just gonna stare? Yeah? You're good. You're very, very good. Down. Good girl. Go lay down. Emmy. Ember. These little flippy ears. That was so cute.
You come with daddy or mommy? Who do you love more?
Mommy. Always mommy.
Hey,
I will even walk through the scary lights for her. Aww. Yeah.